How's it everyone? Today I'm here with my WWE Payback 2017 PPV Predictions. Of course, Payback is a Raw exclusive pay-per-view event that takes place live on the WWE Network as well as pay-per-view tomorrow night. And overall, I gotta say, going into Payback, I have little to no interest in this show, especially after this past Monday's Go Home show, which did absolutely nothing to build the pay-per-view. I just feel like there's no excitement, no reason for me to care about this show going into it. I will say that the card itself, there's not really any bad matches on this show. I think every match does have the potential to be a good match at least. But like I said, there's just no reason for me to care about this show or to have any interest whatsoever. So, I mean, it should be a good show, but just, lack of interest and lack of build. So, that's all I'm going to say about really going into this pay-per-view. Should be good, but just nothing interesting going on. Nothing really must-see about this show, honestly. So, that's my feelings going into Payback. But overall, there's 8 matches, of course, 7 of them being on the main show, because when our prior to pay-per-view, we have a tag team match on there that we've seen 1,000 times on Raw and actually a couple times on pay-per-view already. So, not really much to talk about there. But on the kickoff as well, we'll be having a Miz TV segment with special guest Finn Balor, which I'm actually pretty excited about because, since Finn Balor's been back, he hasn't really talked or cut any kind of promo. He's just been having matches really at just randomly, being a surprise opponent or being, a surprise tag team partner. He just really hasn't, cut a promo yet, and this segment finally gives him an opportunity to talk about his return and, just open up for the first time since being back. So I'm actually pretty excited for Miz TV's Finn Balor. I should be good, and hopefully set up their future feud, I guess, going forward. So Balor and Miz TV, I'm actually pretty excited to watch that. But on the main show, 7 matches. Solid matches, nothing really too bad on this show. We'll be having Kevin Owens defending the United States Championship in a WrestleMania 33 rematch, which should be a great match there. Of course, if Chris Jericho wins, he goes to SmackDown Live as well. So I'm looking forward to that match. Speaking of WrestleMania rematches, we'll be having Neville defend the Cruiserweight Championship against Austin Aries, which should be another great match right there. Really enjoyed the WrestleMania 33 kickoff match, so hopefully on Payback they can have an equally, if not better match than they did at WrestleMania. We'll be having the Hardy Boyz defending their tag team titles against Cesaro and Sheamus. Really been enjoying their matches on Raw, the singles matches, so hopefully they can deliver a pretty solid tag team match there. Bayley in her hometown defending her Raw Women's title against Alexa Bliss. Now that should be great. I'm actually looking forward to that match. There's absolutely no build behind it, but I feel like in terms of match quality, those two go out there and definitely deliver a very solid match. So I'm looking forward to Bliss and Bayley. And then we'll be having the matches been building since the Raw after the Royal Rumble, which being Seth Rollins taking on Samoa Joe finally. Match 3 months in the making. I feel like those two are going to go out there and absolutely tear the house down. Definitely match and not contender. I just feel like those two will go out there and just put on an awesome match. And, I feel like that's what they need right now in their careers, to just put on just show-stealing matches. So Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, definitely going to steal a show at Payback if you ask me, and that's the match I'm looking forward to the absolute most. So that should be great. And then we have the House of Horrors match between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. Pretty surprised this is a non-title. I thought this would be Bray Wyatt's rematch for the title, but you know what? Kevin Owens never got his rematch for the Universal Championship, so I guess Bray Wyatt's never getting his rematch for the WWE Championship. In terms of the match itself, I don't know what to expect. I feel like this will be more of a segment than a match. From what I understand, it's going to be some kind of match going on taped, and then the match is going to end in the ring somehow. So I'm not sure how it's going to play out. I don't know how the House of Horrors is going to be. I don't know if they're going to be in like a compound style area like the Wyatt and the New Day had, or if they're actually going to be like some random house that's going to be like, just theatrically, with special effects and just like, some kind of horror movie. I have no idea how this House of Horrors match is going to play out, but I'm definitely very interested to see how it's going to play out. I think it'll be entertaining, to say the least. Probably won't be great match quality-wise, but it'll definitely be some kind of entertaining segment, I think, to say the least. So, House of Horrors, definitely interested to see how that plays out, and that should be a good overall segment. And then, of course, we'll be having Roman Reigns making his return after being gone for 2 weeks, taking on Braun Strowman. Their match at Fastlane was good, but I was disappointed about how that played out. So hopefully here they can put on a better match and just go out there and have an all-out brawl. Maybe lead to a third match at Extreme Rules, which is the next Raw exclusive pay-per-view. With the stipulation, therefore they can have an even better match, because I feel like this match should have a stipulation from the get-go. But since it doesn't, I feel like there might be a third match at the next Raw pay-per-view, which will be the blow-off. But I'm expecting a good match here. I feel like the build is definitely a lot stronger this time around. Their match build in the Fastlane didn't have much build to it. It literally was just them attacking each other every week. But this time, it's, you know, even though it's really only had like 1 or 2 Raws to build off of, I feel like the segments they've had, especially Braun Strowman, you know, just destroying Roman Reigns, definitely has generated a lot of interest. And, you know, the fact that they kept Roman Reigns off TV for this as well makes it that much better too, if you ask me. So I'm very excited to see Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. Hopefully tops our Fastlane match, and I'm excited for it overall. But yeah, that is a Payback card itself. Like I said, good match card, just nothing interesting going into it though. But you guys click on this video for my predictions, and that's what you're gonna get right now. Kickoff, Enzo, Amore, and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson. I don't really care for this. We've seen this thousands of times, and I just honestly am over this matchup. In terms of the winner, I feel like every time these two teams have faced, Anderson and Gallows have rightfully won. But I feel like in this situation, Enzo and Cass are finally going to get their revenge on Anderson and Gallows. So I'm going to go ahead and pick them to win. Should be a decent match. Not expecting anything good from it. Honestly, they've had nothing but mediocre matches, so it's me whatever. But I'm expecting Enzo and Cass to get the victory over Anderson and Gallows in this match. Raw Women's Championship match. Raw Women's Champion Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. Even though this is in Bayley's hometown, I am picking Alexa Bliss to become the brand new Raw Women's Champion, thus making her the first woman to win both the Raw and SmackDown Live Women's Championships. I just feel like Alexa Bliss winning is the right move here. You know, Bayley really hasn't done anything as the champion, and she has really nothing else to do right now. So I feel like Alexa Bliss is a fresh start with the title, and definitely can make the title seem more interesting. So Alexa Bliss is my pick to become brand new Raw Women's Champion. Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe. Now this match can go either way. I feel like Samoa Joe needs a big win to keep his momentum going, but Seth Rollins, you know, the ride he's been on, the momentum he's been gaining, it's kind of hard to see him losing. So this match can go either way easily, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Seth Rollins. I feel like him getting his retribution on Samoa Joe is what they're probably going to do, leading to a rematch to Extreme Rules with Samoa Joe probably beating him there. So I feel like this feud is going to continue either way, and it should be a killer match. But I think Seth Rollins is going to somehow pull out the victory against Samoa Joe and finally get retribution for injuring back in January. So Seth Rollins. Raw Tag Team Championship match. Raw Tag Team Champions the Hardy Boyz versus Cesaro and Sheamus. You know, Cesaro and Sheamus definitely been hinting for a heel turn. I can see him cheating at the win to get the tag team titles here. But I just don't see the Hardy Boyz losing the tag team titles this early on in their title reign. So I'm going to pick them to retain the tag team titles. So this should be a great match. You know, I think this is where Cesaro and Sheamus finally turn heel. But I think some way or another, I feel like the Hardy Boyz will walk out still the Raw Tag Team Champions against Cesaro and Sheamus. House of Horrors match. WWE Champion Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Now, I know Bray Wyatt needs a big victory considering they're going to give him a push on Raw. But, you know, Randy Orton's got a title match coming up, so I feel like the rightful win should go to Randy Orton. I know this is a Raw pay-per-view and Bray Wyatt's a Raw superstar, but I just don't feel like Bray Wyatt winning is like the right thing to do to end this chapter. I feel like Randy Orton winning and moving on to Jinder Mahal at Backlash is probably the rightful thing to do and to keep him strong going into that match against Jinder Mahal. So I feel like Orton winning is a smart decision. Not sure what to expect in this match. Should be fun, I hope. But coming in result, I do expect Randy Orton to defeat Bray Wyatt. WWE Cruiserweight Championship match. WWE Cruiserweight Champion Neville versus Austin Aries. You know, as much as I want to see Aries win the title, I don't see it happening. I see Neville still walking out the Cruiserweight Champion. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like Aries. It doesn't seem like it's the right moment for him to win it. It should be a killer match like they had at WrestleMania kickoff. I'm looking forward to this a lot. But, you know, Aries, I don't see it happening. That's why I'm not picking him. So I feel like Neville will walk out still the Cruiserweight Champion and still the king of the Cruiserweights. United States Championship match. United States Champion Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. Easily Kevin Owens retaining the championship here. I don't see Chris Jericho winning it, nor do I see why he would win it back. It doesn't make any sense, especially if him winning means him going to SmackDown Live. Just doesn't make any sense. This should be an awesome match. Their match at WrestleMania was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. I really wish it had a stipulation to it. I feel like this would have been a perfect send-off that had a stipulation, like a last man standing or something like that. But I'm perfectly fine with this being a regular match. I feel like either way they're going to go out there and kill it and put on a great match like they did at WrestleMania. So it should be good. But my pick is definitely that Kevin Owens retains the United States Championship, thus staying the face of America. And then the main event, Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. I know this is Roman Reigns' big comeback. He's been out for a couple weeks, and, you know, this is a big comeback against Braun Strowman. But I feel like him winning is the wrong decision, and Braun Strowman, since he's being built as the next #1 contender for Brock Lesnar, he definitely needs to win here, especially after his loss against Roman Reigns at Fastlane. I feel like Roman Reigns just has no reason to win this match, and I feel like Braun Strowman Braun Strowman needs to win, get his momentum going, and first big match against Brock Lesnar down the line. So hopefully it's a great match. The match at Fastlane was a little disappointing, so hopefully they make it up here. But this should be a really good main event, and I do expect the monster among men, Braun Strowman, to absolutely annihilate Roman Reigns in this match. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed my WWE Payback 2017 pay-per-view predictions. Like I said, Payback is a Raw exclusive pay-per-view event. It takes place live on the WWE Network as well as pay-per-view tomorrow night. Good match card, no interest, no excitement, nothing. Which is usually the most case for most pay-per-views nowadays. Solid card, just nothing exciting going on. But yeah, it should be a good show, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, leave a like below in the comment section if you guys like. Leave your guys' Payback predictions or just thoughts going to pay-per-view itself, how you feel about it. Pretty much anything Payback related, go ahead and feel free to leave your guys' comments in the comment section below. And as always, until my pay-per-view review tomorrow night, I'll see you guys then. Thank you guys for watching the video.
There's no going back to what's left behind. Tomorrow's a gift, so I'll make it mine. It's thick in the air, it creeps down my spine.